to be here with Firebird and Radford and formerly Bondurant, and then to be in a position to be able to offer you guys to come out here to our beautiful facility and hang out and have some fun. I really appreciate you guys coming. From the school side, I know a lot of you have never been out here, and it's amazing the number of people that have been to the drag strip and been to this facility for the last 20 years and have never come that little distance down the driveway there to see what we do back here. You know, we've been here since 1992. It was the Bondurant School and now the Radford Racing School. We've got a great partnership with Dodge. You know, you can see we've got 87 Dodge SRTs here. We've got every type you can imagine, you know, every type of Hellcat. We've got 7 Demon 170s that are 1,025 horsepower. We do every type of driver training there is. We do safety driving, we do team programs, we do high performance driving, road race training, stunt driving, military training. We have a drag race school, we do NHRA licensing. So, you know, help us out, spread the word, let everybody know we're actually back here. And again, thanks everybody for coming out.
Thank you, Chuck. Thanks, sir. Hey, maybe we can come back. We'd love to, I'm sure. Hey, before we kick things off, one of our, the gentleman who's been inducted into our Hall of Fame is with us here today, and he would like to lead us in a prayer today before we kick off this ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Bauer, Racers for Christ Chaplain.
Good day, everyone. Would you pray with me? Heavenly Father, we are so grateful for all of the many blessings in life, not the least of which is the blessing of memory. One of my favorite slogans is, memories are gifts from God that death can never erase. And while we're here today, we're doing a lot of remembering, and I thank you for that. I also want to thank you, Heavenly Father, for the sport that we enjoy so very much, all kinds of motorsports, as a matter of fact. But today's a special day when we are joining together in a reunion, and we are also joining together to honor those who we revere and we look up to. Some still with us, some departed. Father, would you bless everyone that is a part of this reunion today, and as the Hall of Fame inductees are introduced, Lord, thank you for the honor given one to another, and I'm grateful for that on a personal level. Now keep us safe, keep us happy, keep us enjoying one another, and keep us looking forward to tomorrow. Help us to remember that the windshield is a lot bigger than the rear view mirror, and we thank you for that analogy. We pray in the Lord's name, and everyone said, Amen. Thank you.
You know, thinking of rear view mirror, that's a 2010 John Force Funny Car Championship ring. Man, what a cool ring that is. That's not one of those ones they're going to give out next year for the 75th anniversary. That's a real deal.
Yeah, that's a real honor to have one of those. I think I got one coming. But anyway, they are not made of the same material as this ring is, so I'm honored. John mailed it to my house, and my late wife called me and said, there's a package for you from John Force that I need, or that it needs to be signed for. I said, signed for it. So then she said, what is it? I said, open it. And she opened it. That was something Norma could barely contain. I've been wearing it. I wear it all the time, and proudly. Anybody asks me about it, I say I'm one of the biggest gearheads you'll ever find. I've never driven a funny car, but this stands for the best one that's ever been built.
All right, Ken, that's a cool ring, man. You know, and actually, when I say that, the 75th anniversary of the National Hot Rod Association is going to be next year. And if you renew tickets, you actually get a copy of one of the rings that they're going to give away for the 2026 championship. Well, hey, let's do this thing. We got Bill Gusick in the house. We've got, go ahead, Chris.
Say, well, there's 8 seats up front here. The tables are open.
We got some seats up front. Somebody would like to come up and sit down.
Come on up.
Mike Bickus is also here. We want to thank Mike Beakey. I'm sorry, Beakey. But Mike Beakey, who works with Chris Thompson doing the Arizona Legends interviews on a YouTube channel. So I want to thank Mike for being with us. And again, if you scan the barcode over here, not that barcode, this barcode over here, it'll lead you right to a website. It does some great shots, and I want to thank Mike for all that he does. Right now, Chris, we got Bill standing next to you. What do we got over here behind me?
Something very, very nice. A gentleman contacted us about a couple months ago and said, hey, he's got these great pictures that his dad drew. Okay, that's nice. And he wanted to share them with the people that the subject of the pictures and paintings. And brought him by to show us at one of our videos. Thanks, John. Brought him by to do one of our Legends videotaping, and wow, we were blown away. So we have some gifts for people here of some of the cars and some of the paintings he's drawn. Tom Walsh is the gentleman that came and visited us. His 97-year-old father, Tom Walsh Sr., is the artist, and you're going to be blown away by this. So, John Allman, you want to come up first? These aren't pictures, these are hand-drawn. What do you think?
Wow, this is very impressive.
That'll shut him up. You're speechless, I could tell. So thanks, Tom. We got a few more to give out here yet. These are all yours. Walter Nash, would you come up here and accept this one, please? Walter Nash is part of one of our Tucson cronies, a member of the Hall of Fame selection committee as well. Tom Walsh Sr. did this drawing of our friend Radford car, the Speed Sport Special. And isn't it beautiful? And Tom wants you to have this, Tom Sr. and Jr. wants you to have this on behalf of the family. Al Eschenbach. Oh, wow. Tom Walsh, one for you as well. What do you think, Albert?
I'm almost lost for words.
Wow. Get a picture of this, will you? Thank you, Tom. This is a great picture here as well.
Thanks, Tom. This is unbelievable.
Very nice. We have some more here. Hey, Tom, would you come up here for a moment, please?
I got an LSU
Ladies and gentlemen, John Lundberg.
An LSU bus story. The first national event I ever announced was at the old Speed World Drag Strip in 1963 on the way to Bakersfield, which was the next weekend. And I wanted someone who was well aware of the local racers. And they pointed out to me a fellow by the name of Al Eschenbach, who was racing that weekend, and for most of Sunday, Al Eschenbach and I were together in the old Coke vending stand that was the announcers, let me see what, oh yeah, Tala, okay. anyway, so we spent most of Sunday together, and in the final round of Top Fuel Eliminator, it was their car against Bob Sullivan. Now remember, was an AHRA, Old Days event. So, Sullivan comes up and does his burnout. Steiniger and Eschenbach car comes out and does their burnout. And as they backed up, the chute fell out of the chute pad. And normally what happens, as a courtesy deal in that day, you give the guy 2 minutes to pack it. Well, that didn't happen. And Jim Tice was on the starting line and went like that, and his flagman flagged the race off, which Sullivan won. Now, that had a tendency to incinerate Mr. Eschenbach, who, in fact, when the cars came back, jumped over the counter of the Pepsi stand, walked up to the drag strip, and introduced his hard right hand to Mr. Tice's jaw and put him on the ground. Al Eschenbach.
Hey, by the way, also, we want to point out that the Arizona Drag Racing Hall of Fame Awards are put together by this gentleman right here. So Al not only creating memories for us in life, but also giving us an opportunity to share memories with people that they can take awards home. And before we get into those awards, there's one special award, Chris.
Well, no, we got a couple more pictures to give out yet.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Jim and Lily, would you come up here, please?
Jim and Lily Rogers in the house.
But wait, there's more. I got it.
Oh no! Wonderful! Whoa!
For those who don't know, Jim's the reason why we had the Beeline Dragway. He was the first manager, builder, owner of the track. How old were you?
I want to thank everybody for what a wonderful sport we've had here in Arizona. And it just makes me feel wonderful that you're all here today. I'm 83 years old. I'll be 83 my next birthday.
And you were doing
I was 20, and we opened Beeline Dragway on October 4th, 1963. And I was 20 years old then.
Bring your camera on.
Okay, let's say that one last time.
Beeline Dragway, I always tell everybody to bring their camera.
Bring your camera.
Thanks, Tom.
To think that tower was there up until what, about 5 years ago? Before they took it down? Speed World Tower is still there, isn't it? I think the coach stand underneath it.
Tom Sands, would you come up here, please? Who else worked at Beeline that's here? Don Gady. Don Gady? Pat Hale. Pat Hale, please. Thank you. Come on up.
Don Gady. Don, you in here? Or is he out there working still?
He's working. Don Gady does a great job for us, so he's working. He's not coming, so.
Thank you very much, Isabel, on a prize welcome.
Thank you. This is great. I remember working in that tower years and years ago.
A lot of people do. Looks like a good place to fall off of. Okay, one more. So this,
Is that uno mas?
Debbie, would you come up here? Ms. Lucy? Lane? Tom Music, come up here, please. This is one of my mentors along the way, Everett Guzik, back in the day. Yeah, what do you think?
Very impressed. Thank you very, very much. Very nice. Thank you.
These are awesome. I really appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
Once again, Tom Walsh, thank you. Thank you to your dad. Tom Walsh Sr., thank you so much.
Where's Tom? Tom? Right here, Tom? Give it up for Tom. And you make sure you tell your dad that how appreciative these people are for their beautiful, beautiful drawings. Congrats to all the recipients
So,
of beautiful pictures.
why are we here? Why did we come in here?
Well, we got our new edition, of course, of the Arizona Drag Racing Hall of Fame. We got a great group this year.
But prior to that, we have one last award. So, Albert, would you come up here for a second, please? So, Ed Smith, would you come up here, please? Ed Smith?
He'll get up here eventually. Ed, we have an award for you this year. Every year, it started out at the Phoenix Dragway. They gave you a pioneering award. And there are several of us that got the Pioneering Award, and then when the drag strip went out of business, that kind of went away. So Bill Music and I picked up on the Pioneering Award, and we've given one every year. And we just give it to somebody that's really old and qualified, and has worked on flatheads or some primitive fixture of hot rodding over the years. So this year, Ed Smith gets the award, the Pioneering Award.
All right, Ed Smith, beat shot.
Congratulations, Ed.
Thank you. Quite a, I call this my drag racers or hot rod family. We're all family. Every one of them here. Nobody can do this alone. It takes a big family. I appreciate the family. All great fun.
Okay, now it's time for the meat of the meeting.
The inductees.
So this year, the Arizona Drag Racing Hall of Fame, we went through a different process. This year, the nominees were all submitted by you. We had an open period on where the nominee forms were on Facebook for you to fill out. After we closed, a lot of people said, well, I would like to have nominated somebody. You can do it again next year. We want you to pick, suggest the names, give us the reasons why your pick, your favorite person should be in the Arizona Drag Racing Hall of Fame. So, with that being said, Here are the 2025 inductees.
Kick it off, Joe Faulkner, and speaking on Joe's behalf, the one and only Chris Thompson.
Joe Faulkner, many remember Joe in the early days. Number one was the Faulkner and Young El Camino. A lot of people have stories about what was in the tailgate of that. Was the concrete, was the steel, but it was a behemoth, you know. And then he went on competition eliminator with Bill Knobloch in the Corvette. Did very, very well at that. And then moved on with Mike Abbey to run some top dragster. And this is an all-around drag racer, great machine shop with our Compliment car back in the 80s. He did all the machine work, helped me build the engines and stuff. Joe lives in Florida now. He's already been to Arizona twice this year, and his free tickets were used up, all his miles were used up, so he couldn't make it, but he sends his love, and wishes he could be here. Let's just give it up for Joe Faulkner.
Our second inductee, Dan Gear. Dan Gear, and accepting for Dan, Mr. Jim Basco. Jim Basco is going to step up. You replaced our trophy girl, you know that, Bill, right? She was about ready to slap you upside the head. It's like, yeah, and everybody's looking for kisses on the cheek. Now what are they going to get from you? You know, you're thinking, oh, hey, Jim. No, Jim, no kisses here. Hey, Jim Basco. Okay, I don't blame you. But you're accepting on behalf of Dan Gear, a great guy.
He's a wonderful guy. He was actually my mentor. I worked for him back in 1969, and then I've known him up until the time he passed. This is a great award. He well deserves it.
Well, a great guy, and what did you learn from him? What was the number one thing you learned?
Everything. I learned everything from him. He was, like I said, he was almost like my dad. He was just a great guy.
He had great work ethic, and you do too.
Well, I don't know about that. He did, but I don't.
All right, Ray keeps you in line, right?
There you go. Exactly.
All right, accepting Jim Basco, of course, for Dan Gear. Thank you, Jim. Our third recipient will be for Dave Danish. Dave Danish. And accepting for Dave will be Walter Nash. Walter Nash.
My apologies for the dark glasses. I left mine in the car. I tried to make it up without them, but I'd probably fall on the table. Dave Danish passed away several years ago, but had a real national footprint in drag racing and a real reach into Arizona. He was tech inspector at the Indy Nationals for many years, NHRA, biggest event in the country. He was the Division III director for a number of years as well. He was the tech director for the Mickey Thompson Stadium Series also. His love was really drag racing. He came to Tucson to be the track manager of then Southwestern International Raceway here and currently Tucson Dragway. He really put the track on the map. He was a friend of the racer. He knew how to put on an event, but he never forgot what really made the track work, which was the people who raced. The NHRA hired him away to run Fontana. He was there for a few years and made arrangements to return to Tucson to be track manager there when he sadly passed away of a heart attack. So it's a real pleasure to accept this on behalf of Dave's family. Thank you.
You know, I think we're going to keep you up here because you're also going to receive the award for Tom Payton also. So Tom Payton, another inductee to the 2025 Hall of Fame.
Tom can't be with us. He's battling some pretty difficult health issues right now. Tom was a long-time drag racer. Anybody who raced in the Sportsman drags down in Tucson will remember his 50s Corvette that always did really well. His real claim to fame, though, was how much time he put into the track in Tucson. He was a real fixture there, along with his wife, Vicki, worked tirelessly with the racers, tirelessly with the track to put on a really great events. So again, it's a pleasure to accept this on behalf of the Payton family.
Thank you. Thank you, Walter Nash. And our next recipient, Tom Stitz. Tom Stitz, and accepting his award will be his brother Rob. So Rob.
Hello, hello. I'm really grateful to accept this from my brother. I wrote a speech, so this is going to take a little while. He loved racing. He loved the racing family. He told me no pictures, but I brought a picture over there on the table. That was taken at the return road of Beeline Dragway, and I was into photography in high school, and I took that when I was 16 years old out of the back of his truck. So that's a survivor picture, and he doesn't look too happy, and he's going to be really pissed that I brought that picture here. So Tom is physically unable to attend today. He's battling some very serious illnesses. He sends his appreciation and enthusiastic gratitude for this recognition. He'd also like to send special thanks to Bill Gusick and his family for organizing this event and the nominating persons who voted for him. Awesome venue, awesome venue. Ed Smith, his mentor of Ed Smith's Speed Shop, Phoenix, Arizona, and Mike Day, his racing partner and car builder. A few quick memories. Tom started his hot rodding with a 1962 Chevy 409 SS Impala. How classic is that? He took it to Ed Smith in the mid-1960s to repair a broken axle. Tom found Ed's shop to be a great place to pick up race car knowledge. Mike Day wanted to build a gasser car and built a small block Chevy racing engine. Ed suggested they put the engine in his B-gas Anglia. Tom was to drive. At the 1970 AHR Winter Nationals held at Beeline Dragway, Tom backed into the tire tracks left by the mob AA Fuel Altered, staged the car, and sidestepped the clutch. What followed was the infamous on the bumper wheel stand with Andy Capp's "Cheers to You Ducks" proudly displayed on the Anglia trunk. The Bob McClure photo appeared in Popular Hot Rodding magazine that year. In the early 1970s, Tom raced the Blind Faith B-Fuel Altered Fiat built by Mike Day. A tube chassis with fuel-injected small block Chevy on nitro, it employed a Crowler-like clutch and Lenco 2-speed transmission, which was really cutting-edge technology for the time. It ran 870 ETs at 187 miles per hour. Here's my favorite part. Since it had no reverser, it was my job to push it back after a burnout. Being so close to nitro fumes huffing out the pipes was a pretty heady thing for a 16-year-old. Great memories. Tom is very grateful for his racing experiences and knows it contributed to his career success later in life. My appreciation goes to the racing community here and from the glory days of Arizona drag racing. Thank you for this award.
Thank you, Rob. All of a sudden, I'm getting a lot of stuff there. Well, all right. Okay. Thank you again. So Rob Stitz accepted for Tom. The next gentleman receiving an award. It was interesting. Chuck Sundstrom, who was up earlier from the Radford Racing School, who also is out here racing, one of our heroes. Of course, I've had an opportunity, luckily, to be out at Firebird Motorsports Park since its opening, and one of the guys I watched start racing and doing quite well is our next inductee, which would be Bob Button. So Bob Button in the house. You know what's interesting is I'll never forget, in fact, the year that Bob, one of our local racers, went over to the Winter Nationals, which was an extremely difficult race to win, and you came over there and brought back a lot of, I think, pride for us as fellow racers, and it was great to see you up there, and you were doing the tour quite actively. You and, of course, your wife, who recently, unfortunately, passed away, but fond memories of you at the track, doing quite well. And you know, I was talking to Chuck, he said, talk about a humbling experience. you won the Winter Nationals. We were all looking up to you, and you went out in the first round against him. You know, it was a terrible deal. He felt guilty. But like a typical racer, he only felt guilty for about this much time. But a great accolade, Bob.
Thank you, guys. Can you hear me all right? Quite the honor. I'm not good. You can see I'm not used to speaking. Can you hear me now? How about now? Yeah. All right. Well, this is quite an honor for me, you guys. It's been with Bill, and I've known this guy forever, it seems like. So, Tom and the whole Goosey family, I want to tell you what an honor this is. I see a lot of people I haven't seen in a lot of years, and what an honor to be here with Brian Downing and those guys. Such an honor. And I'm glad we're all being inducted at the same time. I see some of my friends, my family, Tom Nance, Denise is here, son's race. Mark Leonard, my son Bobby's here. What an honor to be here with you guys. Such an honor. I'm in a great group of people that as I grew up, a lot of them were my heroes. So I'm very proud to be here, very honored to be here.
Well, we're honored to have you as a 2025 addition to the reunion. There's no doubt about it, to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Johnny. I want to thank Bill and his family and Chris and for all the stuff that you do for us racers, and I'm glad to see you keeping this alive for us. Thank you so much.
I noticed you were sitting next to Tom Nance. You're not talking about building another car or nothing.
No, just my best friend, that's all.
Okay, all right. Because he'd hook you up. You know that, man. He's back at it. So, again, our next inductee will be Mr. Dwight Downing. And we're going to bring up a few people here. We're going to bring up a couple of the grandchildren. And, of course, and also, of course, his son, Brian Downing. But Nick Downing, of course, Austin Downing. We got Paco back there. You know what's interesting? Nick is going to slide over here. Come on. Now, Nick, you have an opportunity. I mean, you heard all the stories from your dad. Now, one thing I have to ask about Dwight. In the Downing fleet, how many race cars that were built did you ever let go of?
One of them.
Only one car. They still got the cars. And what did Dwight say? He said, we never want to let any of these cars get out. What was that story?
He didn't want to sell any because he was afraid they'd come back and haunt us and beat us for sure.
But they did decide to sell one car. That was the
Bustin' Ugly.
Bustin' Ugly. But to know the Downing family, it's the Bustin' Loose race family. And Dwight, I had an opportunity to attend a lot of races, and I was with Brian and Dwight in Topeka, Kansas, when he brought home a Wally in a national event. It was a tremendous honor to be there, and what a great mentor and a great grandfather for you guys.
He was an amazing guy. He was the leader of our team. He was a good coach, and he believed in all of us just as much as he believed in himself, and a hell of a racer. He was my idol, so was my dad, obviously. Definitely fortunate to have an amazing family and team behind us, for sure.
Who's the family all out with you? Of course, you got Paco.
Part of us. There's a lot of the family at home, but we all appreciate what you guys do here. It's awesome, and we definitely appreciate everyone here as well.
All right. Well, hey, Austin Downing over here is standing next to his dad. Austin, share a memory with this guy. How was he growing up? When did he let you have your first race car?
My dad or grandpa? My dad.
Your dad.
It was I was waiting. I was working on the cars, hanging out at the track, showing interest and drive to do it. And the Demon went out early in the rounds, heartbreak round or something, and it got late at night on a speedway race. And the track was going away and everything, and my grandpa and dad looked at each other and they said, it'll get down, just send them. So that was my first pass down the track.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys are still having a lot of fun. Of course, now the captain of the Downing Bustin' Loose race team with us, of course, Brian Downing. Man, I'll tell you, Brian, fond memories, man. I'll never forget standing on the stage, of course, in Topeka, Kansas, with you and your dad. What a proud moment that was.
Yeah, it was. That was huge for him. He did. My brother was down the cart from here at a softball tournament, dialing us in on the arrow over there. It was pretty crazy.
You know, and actually they're still racing the arrow. What's cool about the Downing family, Austin, of course, Nick, and then you got Zach and everybody else. They're still interchangeable pieces, and they still got all those cars except the Bustin' Ugly machine. And does Brian ever talk about maybe wanting to get that car back?
Nope.
Nope.
No. You drive 11 seconds in that car, it feels like you're running 8.
Shaking and shimmying all over the place, right?
Yeah, it had to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a great honor, and I'm honored to be here as you guys both, of course, Dwight and you, Brian, get your award for the 2025 inductee to the Hall of Fame in the state of Arizona. So congrats, and look forward to seeing you maybe out here next weekend at the Summit Series event.
Yeah, we'll be out here next weekend.
All right, let's give it up for Dwight and Brian Downey. Hey, so that's it for our inductees, but hey, Bill Gusick, who's had a dream, the Gusick family, who, I don't know if you remember, if you were at a few of the very first ones, John Lundberg, in fact, and I were talking about that earlier. There was just not enough parking on the cul-de-sac, but it was a cul-de-sac. I mean, I had to park 2 blocks away, but again, a great thing this has grown into, and it's great to see a lot of the friends and family, as of course Ed Smith pointed out. It's a family, and it's great that you're carrying that family on.
Thank you. Yes, it is a great family. Appreciate everybody being here. This is overwhelming. I just never expected it to be as big as it is, and I appreciate everybody that's here, all of our people that help with us, our parking, our vending, the cackle cars, all of that stuff. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Chris, Al. And again, I want to thank all of you folks for coming out and spending this day with us. We're going to fire up some cackle cars again. And also, Don Ganey is now here. We can get a picture with Don. He was one of those beeline guys. Where's Don? Oh, there he is.
Come on up, Don.
Okay. But Don Ganey, of course, one of the original beeline guys.
I want to point out a couple people that came to join us for this event. One is Dave Settles. Dave, Arizona, from Arizona, that went on through Texas, and big-time racer, nitro racer, injected nitro, built some killer fuel pumps, and a very smart guy. He was, we're blessed he came to visit, and we got a Legends video film with him on Thursday, so that'll be coming out soon. And then a good friend of ours, drag racing, is Simon Menzies. Well, Simon really just recently moved to Arizona, but he loves drag racing. Simon, big-time drag racer, some nitro, some alcohol, funny car stuff, and some great stories. You've got to get to hear some of the stories he has to say about some of the situations. So, Simon, thanks for being here. Dave, thanks for coming. We appreciate it. Long trip. Thank you very much.
And again, a shout out to Mike Bickey, of course, in conjunction with Chris, does all those. Beaky. But again, puts all those videos together and does such a great job. So again, thank you, Mike, for all that you do. In fact, they'll probably be running this stream as they have been throughout the day. But again, Don Ganey, if we could get you up here to get a picture of you, I need one of the, I believe it's the Beeline entrance sign. I wonder where that ended up. I should check with Victoria Griffey. You must know somebody who snagged that one, right? I mean, you got all that Speed World stuff over there, you know.
So, Don, you were outside when we gave the other ones away. But these are all hand-drawn by Tom Walsh Sr. He's 97 years old. His son, Tom Walsh, I imagine he'd be second or junior. He came, want to make sure everybody got pictures of what the work his dad did. It's fantastic, and they're well-deserving. And thank you. Don has been a big part of our reunion. You don't just see him on race on the Union Day. He's been out to this facility at least a half dozen times, plotting it out, making sure where we're going to park, the logistics operations. He's been doing it for us for years, and Don deserves a big hand for all he does for the reunion.
Now again, if anybody wants to come up with their awards, get pictures or anything in front with anybody, just feel free to do so. But again, thank you all for coming out, spending this day with us. And if you're not doing anything later, we got a shutdown showdown that's going to be happening out there. I don't think anybody's going to want to do that. That's all big money stuff, Chris. Come on. You don't gamble, do you? You don't gamble. But again, I want to thank you all. We still got some great vendors out there. Opportunity to see Tom Gusick stop by his display and check out the current edition of the 2025 Racer Reunion shirt. And again, there are so many volunteers. I hope we didn't forget anybody, but Steve Marley, of course, and his group out there doing the cackle, and all the people that participated, bringing out their cackle cars. And keep in mind, if you want to hit us on Facebook or something like that, this was the first time here. If we get an opportunity to come back, hopefully we'll have to talk to Chuck Sundstrom about that. But if you think some changes might be in order, different positioning, or we're willing to look at what we did and maybe make changes in the future. But again, thank you all for coming out and spending this day with us.